Calabash Cat. Calabash is a gourd. So there's a thing in the back that says, when I lived in the African country of Chad, I bought a beautiful calabash gourd cut in the shape of a cat. And so he basically did the story based on that. In the middle of Africa, there lived a calabash cat. One day, he set off down the road to see where the world ended. When the road stopped at the edge of a great desert, Calabash Cat sat down and thought, maybe this is where the world ends. Just then, a camel came by. He was surprised at how silly Calabash Cat was. Climb up on my back and I will show you where the world ends. And they walked across the desert. But when they reached the far side of the desert where the grasslands began, the camel stopped and said, "Here, my friend, is where the world ends." Calabash Cat would have believed the camel had a horse not happened by. The horse was quite surprised at how small-minded the camel had been. "Climb up on my back and I will show you where the world ends." And they galloped across the grasslands. But when they reached the far side of the grasslands where the jungle began, the horse stopped and said proudly, "Here, my friend, is where the world ends." Calabash Cat would have believed the horse had a tiger not shown up. The tiger was quite surprised at how full of nonsense the horse had been. "Climb up on my back and I will show you where the world ends." And they bounded through the jungle. But when they reached the ocean, the tiger stopped and said, as sure as she could be, "Here, my friend, is where the world ends." Calabash Cat would have believed the tiger had a whale not called up from the waves. The whale was quite surprised at how wrong the tiger had been. "Climb up on my back and I will show you where the world ends." And they swam across the sea. But when they reached the other side of the ocean, the whale said without hesitating for a minute, "Here, my friend, is where the world ends." Now when the Calabash Cat looked at the miles of land in front of him, he thought how small the whale's world had been, even the tigers and the horses and the camels. He wondered if he would ever see the end of the world. Just then an eagle swooped down. The eagle was quite surprised at how foolish everyone had been. "Climb up on my back and I will show you a world without end." Up they went into the great sky, and Calabash Cat's eyes grew wide with wonder as he flew around the world, over oceans and jungles, grasslands and deserts, back to his home.